Well, we know we've got European football after the group stages of the Champions League. We just don't know if it's going to be Europa League or Champions League yet. So after 90 minutes with Inter Milan, we're going to know if we're going to be in the knockout stages of the Champions League or the Europa League. Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco. Today we've got two massive games for you. Inter Milan in the Champions League and then Man United in the Premier League. It couldn't be bigger than this episode, and the prize at the end of it could not be bigger either. Since we were last here, we had a pretty good run of form actually. We had that 0-0 draw with Barcelona and a 2-1 win over Leicester. We then followed up with a 2-0 win over Fulham. Adrian Lacasic scoring both the goals there. The Butcher managed to get himself injured on international duty between the Leicester game and the Fulham game. So Lacasic came in on the right wing, and actually he's been pretty good since he's been there. So I've got a bit of a selection nightmare. Do I start the Butcher or Lacasic later on? Because in the Malmo game as well, he got another goal, and I think he got an assist in that game as well. Man of the match performance from him nearly. Actually, Crazy Eyes got man of the match. But a near man of the match performance from Adrian Lacasic in that 3-0 win over Malmo, which was fantastic news for us, that was. We then followed up with a 1-0 win over Bournemouth. This was a little bit lacklustre. We didn't particularly play very well against Bournemouth, but we managed to get the win either way. Wilfred Thomas scoring the only goal there. Hammer Time again picked up another injury. And then last time out, we played against Burnley and lost in a really, really poor game. We were 1-0 up as well, and then we just threw it away because I don't even know how we did it. So that was only the second loss this season after we lost to Liverpool earlier on. So in terms of the tables then, for both tables actually, we'll look at them both. Champions League and Premier League. We'll start the Premier League table just to have a quick look. Those results keep us in fourth place, or put us in fourth place. A point behind Liverpool, 2 points behind Southampton, but 7 points behind Arsenal, who are starting to run away with things a little bit. Man United, who we play later on, are a point below us as well. So this is going to be a huge game against United. It could put 4 points between his breathing room with United, which would be huge considering how many times they've won the league in the past few years. That would be amazing. In terms of a Champions League table, though, this is where it gets a little bit exciting. I'll make the table the bigger table for you so you can actually see what's going on here. Right, group stages, we want Group A, that's what we're in. So obviously you saw us draw 0-0 with Barcelona when Inter beat Malmo. The next game then, we beat Malmo 3-0. Lacasic scoring one, Crazy Eyes and Wilfred Thomas, as we've already said. But Barcelona beat Inter Milan, which was huge. So that result puts us level on points with Inter Milan. Barcelona 2 points behind us. So all we need is a single point to go through against Inter Milan. Now I know we're second in the group right now, but I think we're still in the driving seat. On the grounds that obviously we lost to Inter Milan. That's why we're below them in the table. That's why they beat us in the head-to-head tables there. Barcelona and Inter Milan drew, and then Barcelona won. So if they get level on points, and that means that Barcelona go ahead of Inter Milan, I believe. But then we beat Barcelona and drew with them as well. So if we end up level on points with Barcelona, then we go ahead of Barcelona. So we only need a 1 point. As long as we don't lose, we're fine to qualify, basically. If we lose and Inter win, then it looks like Inter and Barcelona are probably going through. I don't think Malmo are going to win. Minus 17 goal difference and only scoring 3 goals themselves. It doesn't really bode well for them. So fingers crossed then, we just get the job done. Get a draw or a win. That's what we need. We just need 1 point. That's what the press told me. It says here in the news, we just need the 1 point somewhere. If we can even find it somewhere. Yeah, Lincoln will qualify for the first knockout round with a point. So I'm going to trust this bit of news and just presume if we draw and Barcelona win, then we still go through somehow. Right, I've had a bit of a selection nightmare for this game. Everyone in the Discord, if you're not in the Discord yet, there's a link in the description to join that server and get talking to me and tell me how to do my tactics. That's what everyone likes to do at the moment. They always tell me to use this formation, which we've used a few times in the past, and it's worked with mixed results. But I just don't like this 2 defender. It works very well for everyone else, apparently. But I just don't like this 2 central defender thing. This formation, though, we got a win against Barcelona and draw against Barcelona. So I feel like this is perhaps something we should maybe use instead. So I'm going to go with this for this game. But, you know, if we don't get the result we need, then you can slate me and tell me how wrong I am or something like that. So Seysa starts himself in goal with that Belgian chap, Patino, Kaufman and Gomez making the back 4. Mertens comes in as that ball-winning midfielder in the CDM role just behind Jalapeno and Crazy Eyes. Morala and the Butcher out on the wings, and Hammer Time coming back after his injury to start today's game against Inter Milan, who won the Champions League last season. I'll remind you of that again. I like to say that because I just don't know why I like to say it, but I do. Right, kickoff is upon us here at the San Siro. San Siro, I think, is one of my favourite stadiums in football. I'd love to go at some point. I've never been, but I'd love to go to Milan and go to watch a game in the San Siro. I think it's just an amazing stadium. And we've got the chance to play it today, have little Lincoln City as that Belgian chap makes a clearance from the free kick and the ball is put forward. Although Anton Perrier, he used to play for us. They bought him from... We sold him to Krasnodar for 20 million and they bought him from Krasnodar for 21 million this previous summer. So they seem to rate him. However, I don't, because I sold him and he didn't really get much game time here. So I think we win the midfield battle. I'd like to think we have the better midfielders, because if they're playing Perrier as a starter, I know he's half the player of Jalapeno and Mertens are. I mean, it's going to be such a tough game here today. As things stand, the draw puts Inter Milan down to third and Barcelona are winning. So Inter Milan have to win today if they want to go through. The reigning champions have to win if they want to go through. And as things stand, looking at the match stats, they look the side more likely to do so. Miraculously, a draw here today puts us top of the group, which I find very weird. As I said, like Barcelona, probably in the driving seat in terms of results today. I don't think they're going to be losing to Malmo. They're a decent side, and they should have beaten us, really, I've got to say. We were just, I think, lucky more than anything in those games. But Inter Milan coming forward now, putting the cross into the area. Diogo heads it down to Yasin Afkir, and we drop down to third now. Oh God, we're not creating many chances with this formation yet either. So much rides on this game at the moment, so much rides on it, and we've got a chance now. Actually, Mertens just before half time. Jalapeno coming forward with the ball, gets himself nearly tackled but retains possession through to Mertens in a bit more space. Crazy Eyes now with a chance out towards the Butcher, who cuts inside, passes man into Hammer Time, gets in there, puts it in at the far post past the goalkeeper, puts it back on level terms for us just before half time. It puts us back on top of the group. Inter Milan down to third again. This is crazy what's going on here. Barcelona are absolutely loving it. I didn't realise that they were absolutely in the driving seat. You know, a win for them, they're qualified. It doesn't matter. That's easy for them. Now, do we make tactical changes at half time? Do we make tactical changes at half time? I'm going to go assertive. Not a pure performance out there. Okay, we'll go with that. I don't think I'm going to make changes yet. I feel like I want to go a bit more defensive. But at the same time, I don't know if that's the best thing to do. I have absolute faith in these boys to get through the group. I have absolute faith in them to do some bits. But Inter Milan, I know they won the Champions League for a reason. They have that bit of quality that they can go and just grab a goal from nothing. They've not had a shot yet, or they've had the one shot in the second half so far, though. Although we've got a chance now. Jalapeno, out of nowhere, bags a goal for Lincoln City. We're now 2-1 up. I was not expecting that. We've not really done much. That's our second shot of the second half. Our 2 shots on target today have been in the back of a net. How many times have I said, the other team have had 1 shot on target, it's gone and they've won 1-0. This time it's our turn to have the 2 shots on target and score both of those goals. Get in. Alright, I'm calmer now. Let's make some changes. Let's keep things refreshed. Benteke can come up with Tino at the back. He's looking a little bit tired. We'll do that for now. That feels sensible. Crazy Eyes not played brilliantly, so Cortinas can come on as well. Although he's not a huge box-to-box midfielder, so we'll make him more Carrillo. He can slightly better, I don't know. We'll confirm those changes either way. The wingers had today, the Butcher and Morale are not playing superbly. Although the Butcher is on a 7 and got an assist, so I can't slate him too much. But Morale needs to step his game up a little bit. I mean, I did not expect to be topping the group. When we got drawn against Barcelona and Inter Milan, I thought we'd be third or maybe second in the group. I thought Inter Milan were going to thrash everyone on the grounds that they won the Champions League last year. But now they're not even going to have a chance to defend their title as they're getting knocked out in the group stages at this rate. Mertens puts it into Morala at the back post, who heard me and has made it 3-1. We are going through to the knockout stages of a Champions League, topping our group. So we get a arguably easier draw for the second round or whatever it's called, the quarterfinals. We go straight to quarterfinals? No, it's like second round, isn't it? Or first knockout round, rather. I cannot believe this is happening. I did not expect us to come here and win 3-1 away to Inter Milan. I was praying for a draw. I was praying for us to hold on for a 0-0 draw, but we seem to be doing it right now. Hammer Time now with a chance to come forward back to Morales. Can we make it 4? Hammer Time in behind the defence somehow puts it wide of the mark. I don't know how he's done that, but it's not like it matters. We're 3-1 up. No way. Hold the front door. What's going on in the Barcelona game? Malmo have come back in the 88th minute to make it 2-2, which means, as things stand, Barcelona are now third and Inter Milan are going through. Barcelona could be knocked out. They're one of the favourites for the competition as well. It was like the favourites for the competition this year are Inter Milan, Barcelona and Man United. I was like, we've got 2 of the favourites. One of them is going to be knocked out. Not going to be us. It's going to be Barcelona or Inter Milan. Which one is it going to be? I'm more interested in watching the Malmo game right now. I want to see, like, what if Malmo managed to grab a win or something like that? That'd be insane. How many times shots saved by the goalkeeper? I'm going to watch intently on here. What is going on in this Barcelona game? Although I suppose we should watch the Butcher trying to do something in the background. I can't believe this. Well, there's 20 seconds left in this game. We're trying to build one last attack, I think, although we got tackled then. The ball's gone out for a throw-in. There's now 3 seconds left in this game. Have Barcelona managed to get a winner? We've just won 3-1. And I think that means that Barcelona have lost, or drawn rather, which means Inter Milan, despite losing today, also go through to the knockout stages of the Champions League. Passionately, that was really special. No one gave us a chance. You played fantastically. Everyone looks delighted, gaining confidence. Did Barcelona draw? Barcelona drew in the end. An 88th minute penalty from Malmo got them their only point of the group stages, but stopped Barcelona from winning their game to make sure that they don't qualify for the later stages of the Champions League. They go into the Europa League. This is huge. There we go. Lincoln qualified for the first knockout round after beating Barcelona and Malmo and Inter. Blah, 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 blah. Jalapeno on form. When is the draw for the first knockout round? That's what I want to know. It's after the Man United game, actually, it says there. So we'll do the Man United game, then we'll do the draw for that because we've got to do the draw. What is more exciting, though, is the Checker Trade Trophy third round draw. Our under-23s are still in it, apparently. So, in fact, I suppose I'm recording this before the Lincoln game, but Lincoln, this will come out Monday, I think. So yesterday, I was at Wembley for the Lincoln game. Either I'm going to be celebrating right now because we won it empathetically, or I'm going to be crying because we lost it to Shrewsbury. We absolutely bottled it, robbed. So we were robbed of it. And there we go, our under-18s absolutely loving the under-19 Champions League, winning every single game. I can't believe that. A 15 goal difference, incredible. Fair play. Cortinas linked to Seville, 41 million. What's he actually worth at the moment? 31. God, I don't know. If that bid came in, I wouldn't be... Oh, he's crossing me now as well for not playing him too much. You can start the next few games, mate. Don't worry. I've had my chance. He wants transfer listing. Well, I heard Sevilla are interested in you, so we'll transfer list you as soon as possible, but these things never actually come through, do they? So I don't think it will happen. Right, it's the United game now, and I think I'm going to keep the lineup the exact same because it worked well enough against Inter Milan. So I feel like it should work well enough today against the old Man United. Right, kickoff is upon us here at Hillsborough. I keep wanting to say Sincil Bank. It doesn't mean Sincil Bank, it's like Grant Brown Park now for us in this game, of course. But we're playing at Hillsborough today, obviously. We've got the chance now to come forward early on in this game with a highlight. Gomez, if we can grab an early goal here, it's fantastic. Jalapeno through to Crazy Eyes. He's played very well, actually, recently when he has played, but he gives the ball away very cheaply, as I praise him there. But Mertens does win it back for us. And now, again, we can try and put some pressure on coming forward the ball. Morala is through. I thought it might have been fouled and gone for a penalty there, but the ball goes back to De Gea. I'm very confused at what this highlight is early on. There was a break, so it's not the opening highlight. There is a highlight for something coming up. Hammer Time gets through everyone, and what a waste of a highlight. Right, well, we need this win today, really, if we want to try and keep ourselves up with Arsenal. We're already 7 points behind. A draw would put us 6, but they've still got the game in hand, so they could go even further ahead. Again, beating Man United will put us 4 points clear of them, which is delightful. That would keep us a nice gap for us in the top 4. It gives us a bit of breathing room, and then we can sort of concentrate on hunting down Liverpool and Southampton. Southampton, I'm sure, are going to fall down at some point. I don't think they should be there. I mean, fair play to them. They're there 14 games into the season. That's what, a third of the way through a season, just about nearly. So they're doing all right for themselves. Man United have a decent chance there. He was completely unmarked there, the man who had the shot in the end. But fortunately for us, he didn't have his shooting boots on. Morala has picked up a knock fairly early on, actually. He's down with a potential knee injury. So I think we may bring Jimenez on for him in a few moments' time. Maybe at half-time we'll do it. We'll just see if he can last till half-time. He's recovering condition-wise, so maybe we do leave him on a little bit. But I don't want to make it any worse. I think half-time we take him off. All right, not a bad first half, to be fair. We've been slightly on top, but it's been very, very even. Whatever's happened there. We'll take Morala off. We'll bring Jimenez on for him. We're just going to go... We owe Man United after the last game. I think we'll say that. And that's motivated them a little bit, a few players at least. So fingers crossed that gives them the edge in today's game. Right, free kick for us early on in this second half then. Well, looks like we're going to try and build the play up slowly. Jalapeno Plays out towards the Butcher. He's actually got quite a lot of space. He loses the ball though. Could have just played an easy one to Gomez, but instead he loses it. And now Arsenal with a chance to come forward. Though Jimenez makes a decent interception there from that long ball across the pitch. And Jalapeno instantly loses it. And Antonio Jose coming forward for United now. Will he break the deadlock? No, he won't. That Belgian chap now with a chance to come forward. Crazy Eyes loses the ball to Tim de Groot, a player we tried to sign a few years ago but couldn't get a work permit for him, and now he's at United as one of the best players in the world, which is really annoying. He was let go by Ajax on a free transfer, and we just couldn't sign him because he couldn't get a work permit. So we just didn't bother having him. And then suddenly he played for like Roma, won loads of things at Roma, and then went to United and got a work permit things. Jimenez is through though. While I was talking about that, Hammer Time puts a delightful ball through to Jimenez, who was completely open at the far post and absolutely rifles it past the goalkeeper. We've gone 1-0 up against Man United. This could be an incredible episode as we go second in the table now as things stand. Obviously, these teams still have to play later on, but it puts us in a really, really good position. Oh, could be a red card actually here for United. It's a straight red for a United man. Right, now then, we're playing like this and we're looking all right. But do we now try this? If we've got that extra man advantage, do we try and go for a few more goals, or is that risky? Nah, let's just do it, shall we? Coming forward then with this new formation, or slightly changed formation. It's not really made a difference actually, as Kaufman picks up a clear ball back to Giuseppe Sesa, out to Crazy Eyes, who's played very well actually today, I've got to say. I'm impressed with what he's been doing. Hammer Time with one of the best goals I've ever seen. Literally runs past two men, gets to the middle, shoots past another one into the bottom corner. What a goal. That is why he is the World Player of the Year for 2026, or is it 7? I can't remember now. It was for 2026. Actually, it's coming up soon, the award, isn't it? So maybe he'll get another chance to retain it, although I don't think he's played as well this year as he did last year. In terms of goals scored, so maybe he won't get it, but it'd be nice to see him in contention. Man United now trying to forge a chance for themselves. Rashford coming forward, hits the post, to be fair. That was a decent little worked opportunity for them. Unfortunately, they've only hit the post. They've only had the one shot on target today. Again, we've only had 2 shots on target, and we scored them both, similar to the Inter Milan game. I can't remember how it actually finished in the end. Did we get 3 shots on target and score 3? I don't know, but again, we're now making the use of our shots on target, whereas before we just didn't. You know, we'd have like 30 shots and like 15 on target and score like 1 and lose 2-1 or something like that. But we're now making better use of our chances at least. So perhaps we've finally discovered how to shoot. Hammer Time's been put forward again. This time, how has he put that over from there? Really? How has he done that? Well, 5 seconds left in today's game. I don't think there's going to be any more highlights. Although Shaylon is through. I don't know why he tried to pass it to Hammer Time there. Why not have a shot? Either way, it doesn't matter because we have won 2-0 against Manchester United. That is a huge result for us. Well, I've got to say, today's episode has been fantastic. We've had 2 wins, one in the Champions League, which gets us through to the knockout stage of the Champions League, and one that puts us closer to the top of the table as well. Morale is out for 1 to 2 days, so that's fine. Hammer Time played very well. I'm going to rest these players because we've got Chelsea coming up in a few days' time in the Carabao Cup. Although it's not that important really, and we're going to hold on for a few more days just so we can, well, it's gone now. It did say Monday was Champions League draw, but they didn't say that now, so we'll go to Monday at least and see what happens. Well, Liverpool won, but Arsenal lost, so I mean that's good for us. It puts Arsenal down to 4 points clear from us. That reduces that gap slightly. Southampton still yet to play, but fingers crossed they lose. Who have they got coming up? They've got Man City, so tough game actually, that one. Right, here we go, finally. Champions League draw. What is going on here then? Let's view this. Right, I'm not going to click draw teams this time like I did last time. So we're a seeded side, so we've got to face one of these teams, which, I mean, they all look pretty tough, but I'd like to get revenge over Roma, but I'd preferably like to play Copenhagen. That would be delightful. We're drawing through. Let's wait until, oh, we can't, oh, it's not actually doing it like, I thought we were going to be all the first drawn sides here. Right, a few teams drawn. Oh my God. Oh my goodness gracious me. Roma v Lincoln. A repeat of the Europa League final of not last season, season before, when they beat us after we beat them 5-0 in the group stages. I'm looking forward to this. I am very much looking forward to that game. It's a very winnable game for us as well, I've got to say. Very, very winnable game that is huge. Right, next time then, I reckon we go for Swansea and West Brom. It's in the middle of January, which means we can talk about transfers and things like that when that kind of happens. So that's what I think I will do next time. And then after that, we've got the Roma stuff. And I think we may do Roma in the same episode will just miss those games out in the middle or something. If you've enjoyed today's episode, which I hope you have done because it has been absolutely huge, these 2 wins, really helping us out. Southampton won, by the way, so they go back to second. We're back down to 4th, but at least we're still close and keeping up the pace and things like that, which is good. So if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I will see you next time for some more Lincoln Loco action.